Yeah, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome. I was telling Odie that was the longest 30 seconds I think I've seen. I was expecting to hit 6:30. We try to be on time every day as we begin our day. How are you? Whew, did I mention it's cold? Well, it is to me. It's 37 outside. Now, we're going to warm up to about 59, right along in there today. It'll be warmer temperatures as we move into the weekend, and as you guess, when we get warmer in February, what does it mean? Rain. It's on the way as we'll get probably a 70% chance of rain on Saturday night, increasing to a 90% chance on Sunday. So wet weather in our future, but 20% during the day on Saturday. Tomorrow's going to be perfect with sunshine, so a couple of days to enjoy ourselves. Looks like the wind's going to die down today, and well, it'll be almost a perfect day to be outside. We'll talk about that. James, how in the world are you doing? Scuba, Mississippi, joining us today. Janice Bounds. Also, we see Charlotte joining us there from Philadelphia. Up this morning, a big deal, as we'll have the state treasurer of the state of Mississippi coming in. It's David McRae. He'll be here to talk about what's going on in the state of Mississippi. We look forward to this. Learn a few things. What goes on over in Jackson with your money? Well, he's the man that's in charge of it. He'll be able to tell us more about that. That's coming up at 7 with Scotty Ray and Odie as we get this day underway. Now, there's a lot happening across the United States. We're going to tell you about a few of those in just a moment. But right now, as always, we have to start the day off right with a good word. Let's go to Collinsville, to First Baptist Church.
Apostle Paul, by the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, tells us in Ephesians 5 to not be deceived by empty words. Have you heard any empty words today? As one author wrote, empty words are those that lack substance, wisdom, and truth. They're words not filled with reality or matched with action. The famed 4th century preacher John Chrysostom said when preaching on this verse in Ephesians, there are always people among us who want to diminish the force of words. Empty words are words that are for a moment attractive, but in no way are proved by deeds. Now, I've heard a lot of empty words over the course of my life, and to be honest, I've said some as well. Empty words are deceptive because they're usually what people want to hear, but there's no truth to them. There's no action to back up those words. Now, you might be thinking, preacher, they're just words. No, the Lord takes them seriously. Paul goes on to say that one of the reasons the wrath of God's coming upon this world is because of empty words. So, beloved, we need to strive to not be deceived by empty words, but more importantly, we need to rid ourselves of empty words. Say only what's wise and true and follow through on every promise you make. But along with ridding ourselves of future empty words, we need forgiveness for our past empty words. And that only comes through Jesus Christ. Turn to Him, trust in Him, seek His forgiveness, and the stain of your empty words will be washed away. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Don't forget you can drop in and visit with Brother Ben tonight. All the others there in Collinsville at the First Baptist Church. Can't miss it. It's the biggest thing you'll see in Collinsville, right there on the left side of the road. Enjoy yourself while you're there. Well, as we start headlines across America this morning, do you remember Arkansas, where we were talking about 2 inmates that escaped? What is weird about it is for 36 hours, they went unnoticed missing. Oh, yeah. They haven't really done the breakdown of how that happened, but they say they were unaccounted for 36 hours. A mistake. They've been both arrested and brought back to jail now. The bigger suspect there that was wanted for murder was found wandering down the road. He was taken back into custody without incident. It's always good. A lot of times in situations like this, when someone's wanted for such a high crime, well, they don't plan on going back. I don't know where I'm going with that, but all that ended good. Ohio. Well, one day it's this way, the next day it's this. As we look at, this has been talk. A lot of talk on the Democratic side of, well, the way things are run. They're afraid that it could hurt votes if you take away cigarettes from people, especially menthol. A lot of people like them. I did it for years. I've been free for 10 or more. Ohio has reversed the ban on menthol cigarettes. Oh, yeah. This was actually going on as we go down to take a look at this. On New Year's Day, the city of Columbus, Ohio, did what the federal government had not been able to do. They banned menthol cigarettes. 3 weeks later, the state legislature voted to reinstate the menthol and other flavored tobacco products. So it's back working again. But that did happen there in Ohio. And again, it most likely would hurt who votes for you if you take away what they like. If you like a particular, it's like somebody, I guess, taking away your Coca-Cola and telling you that you can no longer have that. Only sweet tea is available.
They did that.
Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah, they did do that in New York with the
Only get 16 ounces.
16 ounces, all you can get. It usually does not make the voter happy. So that's been reversed in Ohio, just to let you know there. California man has been arrested. He had quite a business going, Odie. He was an entrepreneur. Only problem was all of his product he was selling was stolen. I kid you not, $5 million worth of Nike products was found in his warehouse. He's been arrested now. He'll go before a judge and find out what his fate is before long. Tropicana, Las Vegas. What is that? Oh, it's a motel. It's been there since the 60s, kind of a skyline figure. It's going away. Actually, it was built in 57. They're going to make way for a new ballpark. Is that good? I don't know. Maybe it will bring more people to the city, but another landmark goes by the wayside. You often see this in big cities as they try to stay on top and attract more people. It is going away. This is sad of people, as we see this, there's criminals in this world. Sometimes the criminals pretend to be someone else. 3 people were killed. One of them, by accident, got the day off from work and stayed home. A guy broke into the house, posed as a UPS worker. 3 people in the house died. He's been caught. But that's awful, isn't it? It's not UPS's fault, and I don't want anybody to think that. He just chose to do something wrong, try to blend in and get away with breaking in homes. That's horrible. I can only guess as we go to our next story what the criminals were up to on this, as we heard that in Wichita, Kansas, y'all know where that is, due north of here. I've been through there. The statue of Jackie Robinson was stolen. Actually, they come out and they cut it off at the ankles. It was made of bronze. What we find out is firefighters found a smoldering fire, and it was what was left of the statue. Pieces of it were cut off. It sounds as if somebody were attempting to melt the statue down for the copper in it. It's destroyed. They'll have to build a new one. That is sad. Again, no statue should be touched or bothered. It was put there for a reason. It's history. All of them are. You have mixed emotions on some cases to where you say, well, I'm not sure that the law was right on this. And then you understand that mistakes happen also. As we go to New Mexico, in the darkness of night, police went to make a raid on a home. You can hear them on their body camera before they go in going, are you sure we're at the right address? Well, as it turns out, they were at the wrong house. They were supposed to be across the street. As the homeowner came to the door, he was toting a pistol. The family side of this says with the flashlights in his face, he raised his gun. The police would take him out for that because he raised his gun. It was his home, the castle law, you would think. The state agency will not charge the officers in this. They said that they acted and only fired when they felt threatened by the gun being raised. That's a loaded one. That is hard. I'm glad I was not on that jury. That's a very tough one there. Mistakes do happen, but a man's life was lost also at the same time. Who's tired of hearing those Camp Lejeune commercials? Sue now, call now, get your money. Over and over. Well, be ready. There's probably another one coming as we see that a shipyard, Long Beach is where this all happened. They've traced radioactive chemicals back to it. They say caused cancer. So be expecting the commercials and the lawyers to be on top of this. You'll hear it till you're tired of it. I thought about moving to Camp Lejeune for a little while.
Yeah, just so I could get in on it.
Whew. Of course, that's Los Angeles is where all that is, Camp. As this is the third time I've brought this up, and I compared it to Breaking Bad, the 6 people that were found in the Mojave Desert there. They released more statements. They're pretty sure this time it was drugs, what was going on. The drug deal went bad. I'd almost be willing to bet you that last wooden nickel that I've got in my coat. They're leaning more and more toward that. What happens when the law turns bad? Odie, we've all heard of this. It happened in Massachusetts. Well, it was a scheme. Let's put it as this way. Let's say you own a trucking company. You got to have drivers to deliver your products. You got to have them bad. Problem is, most of them, well, either A, can't drive, or, well, can't speak English and understand how to pass a test. So a little deal was made with instructors with the Massachusetts Police Department, the DMV side of things that handle this. Driveways were paved, lots of product delivered to their homes. They have been busted. 4 people have been arrested for commercial driver license fraud as they were passing people. They even had a code word that you used when you showed up to take your test. It was Goldfinger, I think, was the word that you used, and that meant you were going to pass the test regardless. Money, 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 and more money. 6 people, not 4, 6 were arrested on that. Don't think that this doesn't happen in every type business. It's not just law enforcement, it's in other agencies as well. These 6 will pay the price for being caught. 74 counts of this they've been charged with. Yeah, this was undercover. It went from 2019 to 23. They investigated this. My, oh, my, oh, my. Serious charges, and they will be made an example of as we look at this. UPS cutting 12,000 jobs. The number of packages have dropped. Their bottom line has declined, and they will cut back accordingly. Ooh, I didn't see that one coming. Maybe I just hadn't been paying attention. But UPS and those cutbacks there. We say condolences this morning. We all know the Beach Boys. Wish we could all be California girls. Brian Wilson's wife, 77, has passed away. We pass along condolences to the family for such a group that changed America. They were such a part of that. Let's see here. This is something you should pay attention to. This deals with every one of us. There's a controversy going on in Texas right now. They're at the border. There's people wanting in the United States, well, that aren't citizens. You've got the state of Texas says you can't come in because you're not a citizen and you didn't follow the law. You've got a guy in Washington that is head of that, national security, that handles these type things. The Republicans have brought papers to have him impeached from office for not doing his job. Will it happen? We don't know. It's the first step of a controversy that's going on and is serious in Texas at this point, as the federal government is telling them to let illegal people in and break the law, as Texas says we're not going to allow it. It's a showdown. At least 20-something governors have signed the piece of paper agreeing with Texas. We are a divided nation. We are. Where does this lead? We don't know. Alabama getting ready for another execution. We'll stay on top of this and let you know how this begins. More coming up as we'll get into your forecast here in a moment. And again, we've got a big show lined up for you. A lot of questions about Jimmy Rogers yesterday. What went on? Well, we were there. We'll tell you what went on. All of that's coming up at the top of the hour. Don't miss out on that. We got that forecast and so much more still to come as we start this day together. We'll be right back. If it's crossed your mind about a new tractor, visit my friends at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 here in Collinsville. They got any style, any size that you're looking for. And right now, you can take advantage of getting a new tractor, a trailer, and a bush hog, all for $31,000, 0% interest for 84 months. Yeah, 0% for 84 months. Also, a great service department to work on any tractor that you have. From bush hogs, disc, and tillers, see it all at Freeman Tractor, Highway 494 in Collinsville.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
And welcome back. Let's get into the forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we said, cool this morning. Right now it's 37 as we head for a high of 59 right there at the 60-degree mark. As we go back, 1957, It was 82 degrees today, and 66, it was downright cold. 13 on this day. Glad I don't remember that. Well, I wasn't here, but that doesn't matter. It was cold. As we look across, 59 today, and sunshine as we go near Columbus Air Force Base, reaching 56. Down the Mississippi River, we'll get 60, as we'll see that in Vicksburg, even rising to 62 at Natchez, over to Brookhaven as well. Over in Bamaland, we see that we'll get 57 in Demopolis, around 52 in Birmingham. A little cooler there in Gadsden, holding steady at 51. Now, as we look at this warmer weather in the forecast, you're going to see 60s. That's right. Down in lower Florida, we have some cooler temperatures, and as well out in California. As we look at the 7-day forecast, we get 58, 59 today. That low tonight, kind of what it is this morning. We'll get down to 33 tonight. 62 is the high for tomorrow. 0% chance of rain. A great day as we head toward Friday. Look at that. 66 with a nighttime low of 41. And it's going to be sunshine. You'll love it. Saturday, the rain starts rolling in, as we'll see this. And Sunday, 60% chance as well. We'll cut it back to about a 20% chance of rain on Monday as well. That's the forecast for this week. Rain over the weekend, be ready for that. It should be later in the afternoon before it starts. And wet weather. As we look at all the way through Valentine's Day, are y'all prepared for that? That's not far off. 61 is our high there on Tuesday the 6th, all the way down toward Valentine's Day. 59 is what we're looking at. A lot of rain in the forecast after we get to about the 9th. But those temperatures are still way, way up there. They're not cold. What does that mean? Storms is what that means. We could have some more severe weather. So we'll be watching that closely as that comes about. What about the fishing? This is it, the last day of deer season. You got to take off. There's a lot of people probably calling in sick today. As we look at the best fishing forecast for today, it began at 4 o'clock, ran through about 6. Now, your next major time to fish is 4:30 this afternoon into the dark time hours. The wind, look at this, north wind 5 to 10. As we've got this hunting forecast brought to you by our friends at Collinsville Meat. First major time was around 2:30 this morning. If you were out there, I'm not even going to touch that. Your next major time to hunt is going to be this afternoon right at 3 o'clock. Be there by 2:20. Hunting gets good about 10 till 3 and should be good until 5 o'clock. Stay all the way to dark. It is the last day until you can see that last peak of daylight. It'll be fun. Enjoy yourself. Maybe today's the day that you get the big one. Yet another year that I hadn't had a chance to go. I come real close this weekend and I didn't get there. Hate that. Love deer hunting. But good luck to everybody that's participating today. We want you to enjoy all of that. On the way, again, we've got our special guest, David McRae, coming in. He'll be here at 7 o'clock as we'll get the show underway. We'll find out what's going on in Jackson with your money. Also, we'll learn what's going on with, investments. What can be done for you to make money? He's going to give us all of that. Tell us who's accountable for this and that. We've got a lot of questions for him. Join us, won't you? It begins this morning at 7 o'clock with Scotty Ray and Odie. We'll be right back.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.